The whole world and all its treasures and the sea, air, and earth were here when you were born. Begin to think of the untold and undiscovered riches all around you, waiting for the intelligence of man to bring them forth. Look at wealth as the air you breathe. Get that attitude of mind. As Emerson said to the woman, who wanted to prosper. He took her down to the ocean. He said, take a look. She said, oh, there's plenty of water, isn't there? He said, look at wealth that way, and you'll always have it. Yes, realize it's like the tide, forever flowing out, forever flowing back. A sales manager said to me that an associate of his sold $1 million idea for expansion to the organization. You can have an idea worth a fortune too. Wealth is a thought image in your mind. Wealth is an idea in your mind. Wealth is a mental attitude. He also told me that there were more millionaires now in the United States than at any time in the history of the country. You can have an idea worth a fortune, yes, you can. Moreover, you are here to release the imprisoned splendor within you and surround yourself with luxury, beauty, and the riches of life. Learn that it is necessary to have the right attitude towards money, wealth, food, raiment, clothing, all these things. When you really make friends with wealth, you will always have a surplus of it. It is normal and natural for you to desire a fuller, richer, happier, and more wonderful life. Look upon money as God's idea of maintaining the economic health of the nation, of the nations of the world. When money is circulating freely in your life, you're economically healthy. In the same manner as when your blood is circulating freely, you are free from congestion. Begin now to see money in its true significance and role in life as a symbol of exchange. That's all it is. It has taken many forms down through the ages. Money to you should mean freedom from want. It should mean beauty, luxury, abundance, sense of security, and refinement. You're entitled to it. Being poor is a disease. It is a mental attitude. A young woman, a very good writer, who had had several articles accepted for publication, said to me one time, I don't write for money. I said to her, what's wrong with money? It's true you don't write for money, but the labor is worthy of his hire. What you write inspires, lifts up, and encourages others. When you adopt the right attitude, financial compensation will automatically come to you freely and copiously. She actually disliked money. Once she referred to money as filthy lucre. Going back, I suppose, the early days where she heard mother or somebody say money is evil, or the love of money is the root of all evil, and all these things without any understanding at all. It's a rank superstition to say money is evil or a filthy lucre. This woman had a subconscious pattern that there was some virtue in poverty. There isn't. It's a sickness, a disease. I explained to her that there was no evil in the universe, and that good and evil were in the thoughts and motivations of men. All evil comes from misinterpretations of life and misuse of the laws of mind. In other words, the only evil is ignorance, and the only consequence is suffering. It would be foolish to pronounce uranium, silver, lead, copper, iron, cobalt, nickel, calcium, or a dollar bill evil. How absurd, grotesque, and stupid that is. The only difference between one metal and another is the number and rate of motions of electrons revolving around a central nucleus. A piece of paper such as a $100 bill is innocuous, and the only difference between it and a copper or lead is that the atoms and molecules with their electrons and protons are arranged differently for the physical evidences of money. Here's a simple technique she practiced which multiplied wealth in her experience. My writings go forth to bless, heal, inspire, elevate, and dignify the minds and hearts of men and women. And I am divinely compensated in a wonderful way. I look upon money as divine substance, for everything is made from the one spirit. I know matter and spirit are one. Money is constantly circulating in my life, and I use it wisely and constructively. Money flows to me freely, joyously, and endlessly. Money is an idea in the mind of God. It is good and very good. That's a wonderful prayer. It eradicates that superstitious nonsense about money being evil and things of that nature, or there's some virtue in poverty, or the Lord loves the poor. All of that is rank superstition. It is frightful ignorance, that's all it is. This young lady's changed attitude towards money has worked wonders in her life. It'll work wonders in your life too. And she has completely eradicated that strange, superstitious belief that money was filthy lucre. She realized that her silent condemnation of money caused money to fly from her instead of to her. Her income has tripled in 3 months, which was just the beginning of her financial prosperity. Some years ago, I talked with a clergyman who had a very good following. He had an excellent knowledge of the laws of mind and was able to impart this knowledge to others. But he could never make ends meet. He had what he thought was a good alibi for his plight by quoting from Timothy, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." That's in the book of Timothy, in the 6th chapter, 10th verse. Forgetting what followed in the 17th verse of the same chapter. In other words, taking it out of context, when Paul charges the people to place their trust or faith in the living God, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. That's also in the book of Timothy. Love in biblical language is to give your allegiance, loyalty, and faith to the source of all things, which is God or the living Spirit or the life principle in you. You are not, therefore, to give your allegiance, loyalty, and trust to created, but to the Creator, the eternal source of everything in the universe, the source of your own breath, source of your life, the source of the hair in your head, the source of your heartbeat, the source of the sun and the moon and the stars, the source of the world and the earth you walk on. If a man says, "All I want is money, nothing else," that's my God, and nothing but money matters. He can get it, of course, but he's here to lead a balanced life. Man must also claim peace, harmony, beauty, guidance, love, joy, wholeness in all phases of his life. How can he live without courage, faith, love, goodwill, joy in this world today? Nothing wrong with money, not a thing in the world, but that's not the sole aim in life. To make money the sole aim in life would constitute an error, a wrong choice. There wouldn't be anything evil in it, but you'd be imbalanced and lopsided. You must express your hidden talents. You must find your true place in life. You must experience the joy of contributing to the growth, happiness, and success of others. We're all here to give. And give of your talents to the world. God gave you everything. God gave you himself. You have a tremendous debt to pay because you owe everything you have to the infinite. Therefore, you're here to give life and love and truth to your ideals, to your dreams, your aspirations. You're here to row the boat and put your hand to the wheel and contribute to the success and happiness not only of your children but of the whole world. To accumulate money to the exclusion of everything else causes man to become imbalanced and lopsided and frustrated. Yes, as you apply the laws of your subconscious in the right way, you can have all the money you want and still have peace of mind, harmony, wholeness, and serenity. You can do a lot of good with it. You can use it wisely, judiciously, and constructively, like anything in nature. You can use your knowledge or philosophy in a constructive way, or you can begin to brainwash impressionable minds with communism and all the rest of it. I pointed out to this minister how he was completely misinterpreting the scripture and pronouncing pieces of paper or metals evil, when these were neutral substances, for there is nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. He began to see all the good he could do with more money for his wife, family, and parishioners. He changed his attitude and let go of his superstition. He began to claim boldly, regularly, and systematically, "Infinite Spirit reveals better ways for me to serve. I am inspired and illumined from on high, and I give a divine transfusion of faith and confidence in the one presence and power to all those who hear me. I look upon money as God's idea, and it is constantly circulating in my life and that of all the people who surround me. We use it wisely, judiciously, and constructively under God's guidance and God's wisdom." This young clergyman made a habit of this prayer, knowing that it would activate the powers of his subconscious mind. Today he has a beautiful church which he wanted. The people built it for him. He has a radio program and has all the money he needs for his personal, worldly, and cultural needs. I can assure you he no longer criticizes money. If you do, it'll fly away from you, because you're condemning that which you're praying for. Now, follow this technique which I'm going to outline for you, and you'll never want for wealth all the days of your life, for it is the master key to wealth. The first step is to reason it out in your mind that God, or the life principle, or the living spirit, is the source of the universe, the galaxies in space, and everything you see. Whether you look at the stars in the sky, the mountains, the lakes, the deposits in the earth, and the sea, or all animals and plants. The life principle gave birth to you, and all the powers, qualities, and attributes of God are within you. Come to a simple conclusion that everything you see and are aware of came out of the invisible mind of the infinite, or the life principle. And that everything that man has invented, created, or made came out of the invisible mind of man. And the mind of man and the mind of God are one, for there's only one mind. That mind is common to all individual men. Everyone is an inlet and an outlet to all that is. Come now to a clear-cut decision that God is the source of your supply of energy, vitality, health, creative ideas, the source of the sun, the air you breathe, the apple you eat, and the money in your pocket. For everything is made inside and out of the invisible. It is as easy for God to become wealth in your life as it is to become a blade of grass or a crystal of snow. The second step, decide now to engrave in your subconscious mind the idea of wealth. Ideas are conveyed to the subconscious by repetition, faith, and expectancy. By repeating a thought pattern or an act over and over again, it becomes automatic, and your subconscious being compulsive, you will be compelled to express wealth. The pattern is the same as learning to walk, swim, play the piano, type, or drive a car. You must believe in what you're affirming. It's not mumbo-jumbo, it's not idle affirmations. You must believe in what you're affirming, like you believe that when you put seeds in the ground, they grow after their kind. And the seeds are thoughts deposited in your own subconscious mind. Realize that what you are affirming is like the apple seeds you deposit in the ground, and they grow after their kind. You can imagine these seeds going from your conscious to your subconscious mind and being reproduced on the screen of space. By watering and fertilizing these seeds, you accelerate their growth. Know what you are doing and why you are doing it. You're writing it with your conscious pen in your subconscious mind, because you know wealth is walk down the street and you see it. Can you count the flowers along the road as you drive? Can you count the sands on the seashore? Can you count the stars in the sky? Can you count the wealth that you're walking on? Yes, underneath you. Maybe oil, gold, silver, uranium. Do you ever think of the riches of the sea, the soil, the air? So third step is repeat the following affirmation for about 5 minutes, night and morning. I am now writing in my subconscious mind the idea of God's wealth. God is the source of my supply, and I know God is the life principle within me, and I know I'm alive. And all my needs are met at every moment of time and point of space. God's wealth flows freely, joyously, and ceaselessly into my experience, and I give thanks for God's riches forever circulating in my experience. Step 4. When thoughts of lack come to you, such as, I can't afford that trip, or I can't meet that note in the bank, or I can't pay that bill, never, never finish a negative statement about finances. This is mandatory. Reverse it immediately in your mind by affirming, God is my instant and everlasting supply, and that bill is paid in divine order. If a negative thought comes to you 50 times in 1 hour, reverse it each time by thinking and affirming, God is my instant supply, meeting that need right now. After a while, the thought of financial lack will lose all momentum, and you will find your subconscious is being conditioned to wealth. If you look at a new car, for example, Never say, I can't buy that or I can't afford it. Your subconscious takes you literally and blocks all your good. On the contrary, say to yourself, that car is for sale. It is a divine idea, and I accept it in divine order through divine love. This is the master key to wealth. It's impossible for any sincere person to practice this technique and not have all the wealth he or she needs all the days of your life. So follow it, and you're setting the law of opulence in operation. It will work for you as well as for anybody else. The law of mind is no respecter of persons. Your thoughts make you wealthy or poor. Choose the riches of life right here and right now. A sales manager sent me one of his men for counseling. This salesman was a brilliant college graduate. He knew his products very well. He was in a lucrative territory, but was making only $5,000 annually in commissions. The sales manager felt he should double or at least triple it. In talking to the young man, I found he was down on himself. He had developed a subconscious pattern or self-image of $5,000 a year. In other words, that's all I'm worth. He said that he had been born in a poverty-stricken home and that his parents had told him that he was destined to be poor. His stepfather had always told him, "You'll never amount to anything. You're dumb, you're stupid." These thoughts were accepted by his impressionable mind, and he was experiencing his subconscious belief in lack and limitation. I explained to him that he could change his subconscious mind by feeding it with life-giving patterns. Accordingly, I gave him a mental and spiritual formula to follow, which would transform his life. I explained to him that he should under no circumstances deny what he affirmed, because his subconscious mind accepted what he really believed. Your subconscious mind accepts your convictions, what you really believe. So believe in God's wealth and God's riches, which are all around you, by the way. He affirmed every morning before going to work, "I'm born to succeed. I'm born to win. The infinite within me can't fail. Divine law and order govern my life. Divine peace fills my soul. Divine love saturates my mind. Infinite intelligence guides me in all ways. God's riches flow to me freely, joyously, endlessly, ceaselessly. I'm advancing, moving forward, and growing mentally, spiritually, financially, and in all other ways. I know these truths are sinking into my subconscious mind, and I know and I believe they will grow after their kind." A year later, when I met this young man again, I discovered that he had been transformed. He had absorbed these ideas which we had discussed. And he said, "I am appreciating life now, and wonderful things have happened. I have an income of $25,000 this year, 5 times greater than the previous year." He has learned the simple truth that whatever he inscribes in his subconscious mind becomes effective and functional in his life. That power is within you. You can use it also. The young boy who's operating this machine while I am broadcasting, his name is Robbie Wright. He told me about his uncle who used to work in a bank. And this uncle wanted to make more money for his wife and his children. And he was always affirming, God is my instant supply. I'm divinely guided in all ways. Infinite Spirit opens up a new door. Well, he told me that his uncle was in town about 2 months ago, and that his salary now is $200,000 a year, all his expenses paid. And he was getting $40,000 when he started to realize the truth about himself. And he's able to do great things and living a wonderful life down south in another state. All of this is an idea. All it was an idea in his mind. Wealth is an idea. A radio is an idea. Television is an idea. An automobile is an idea. Everything you look at. is an idea. Suppose you destroyed all the automobiles in the world due to some holocaust. Well, an engineer could run them off, couldn't he? And we'd have millions of them in no time. Use the following meditation for assurance in achieving financial wealth. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. I know that my faith in God determines my future. My faith in God means my faith in all things good. I unite myself now with true ideas, and I know the future will be the image and likeness of my habitual thinking. As a man thinketh in his heart or subconscious, so is he. From this moment forward, my thoughts are on whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are lovely and of good report. Day and night I meditate on these things, and I know these seeds, which are thoughts, which I habitually dwell upon, will become a rich harvest for me. I am the captain of my soul. I am the master of my fate. For my thought and feeling are my destiny. You see, prayers and affirmations are not for the purpose of changing God or the living spirit or the life principle or influencing the divine. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. You don't change God, but you align yourself mentally with that which was always true. You don't create harmony. Harmony is. You don't create love. God is love. That love of God is within you. You don't create peace. God is peace, and God indwells you. But you must claim that the peace of God floods your mind. You must claim that the harmony of God is in your home, your harmony is in your pocketbook, in your business, in all phases of your life. All of good is available to each of us. Our prayers and affirmations are for the purpose of bringing our own mind to the point where we can accept the gifts which were given to us from the foundation of time. For God is the giver and the gift. The oil was in the ground before you were born, before any man walked the earth. So was gold and silver, uranium and lead and copper and all the metals that we use today. They were all there. Didn't it take a little intelligence in the mind of man to find these things? Yes, so if you send two men to Utah, and one man is a geologist, or he may be also a mineralogist, and he finds nothing. Another man goes, in the first 5 minutes he finds a vein of uranium or silver in the same territory, in the same land. Where was the wealth? The wealth was in the mind of the second man. He believed in a guiding principle. The other fellow found nothing. He was walking on it. So there is a guiding principle that will lead you. That's what led men to find gold and silver and oil and lead and all these things. We don't need to work on conditions. We need only to work on ourselves. The only place we can cure our lack and limitation is in our own mind. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. When we have done it there, we shall find that the world, that is your body, your environment and conditions, will be a mathematical reflection of your inner state of mind. Whatsoever things ye ask for when ye pray, believe that ye have received them, and ye shall have them. That is the basis of all successful prayer, whether for the healing of our bodies, for prosperity, success, for achievement, or for material benefits. Once you convince your deeper mind that you have the thing you want, it will proceed immediately to bring it to pass. You might say to me, how can I convince my deeper mind, my subconscious, that I have riches or any other good thing, when my common sense tells me that bills are piling up, creditors are after me, the bank is calling up to pay for the mortgage and for the money I owe and so on? You can't. If you keep thinking about debts and obligations and how much you owe, you'll only magnify your misery. But here is a truth about the laws of your mind. Your deeper mind accepts as a fact whatever you repeat to it in convincing tones, often enough, just the same as you learn to walk. You had a thought pattern, an act, whether it's swimming or walking or playing tennis or golf, and you repeat it over and over again. You knew what you were doing and why you were doing it. You want to learn to walk, you want to learn to dance, you want to learn to swim. So finally